Hi everyone, and welcome to this episode of Meet the Maker Mondays. I'm Sarah Harvell, the metalsmith and maker behind Ravenna Metalworks. And today I'm going to share with y'all my favorite, metalsmithing technical books. Because we can find a lot of information on the internet. You can watch a lot of YouTube videos of people making jewelry. A lot of how-to videos are great. But I think books can never really truly replace the knowledge that's out there, because there's a lot of things that I'll reference in my books that are not on the internet that I use every single day. If I have a question about a technique that I'm using, I'll reference my books first before I go to the internet. So first, I'm going to be talking about The Complete Metalsmith by Tim McCreight. But let's go over to my bench so that way I can show y'all a close-up of it, and that way I can kind of leaf through each book and just tell y'all a little bit about it and why I use it every day in my studio. So let's go over to my bench and I guess show the book show and tell. Okay, so this is The Complete Metalsmith by Tim McCreight, and this is copyright about 2004, and this is kind of like the pocket size or the smaller version. And I did get it used, so there's some markings in it that I did not make because that's sacrilege to do the books. Never do that. I don't even write in the margins. So this is the table of contents, just to kind of show you just what's in it. And it's just a really great instructional book. And it just goes over just kind of a short snippet about each thing. Really what you need to know. Not super in-depth, but I mean, it is great just as a quick reference. You know, you see enameling, filing and scoring, metal clay. A lot of people ask me about metal clay, die forming, goes into gemstones, alloys. And one section I really like is the repetitive strain injuries, because a lot of people don't talk about this enough, because you can injure yourself, and then you know, our hands are our best tools, so we need to take care of them. So I really like this section. That's pretty cool. And then it goes over the alloys. So this is a really great reference for any beginner or experience, just kind of a quick go-to. So I really like this one. So this is another book by Tim McCreight, and I'll show y'all the other one again. So this is the, Complete Metalsmith, and so this is, kind of I would just say this, a Cliff's Notes version of stuff. And then this one is a lot more illustrative, goes a little bit more in depth. It's a good one too. It goes over the fundamentals, and it has great picture examples of other people's work, because it's one thing to talk about a technique, and it has great instructional pictures like this, how to do saw piercing, or what I like to call opus interesi. And because a lot of times you don't have projects or how-tos, but then it has a great picture of how other people have applied it. It's great for inspiration too. And I mean, look at that little guy. That's cool. So you kind of see the technique and how it's applied and how other people have applied it. But this is a great reference. It goes to soldering. So if you're having trouble soldering, there's a great section in here about that. I mean, it's just got great, beautiful reference photos. I mean, look how gorgeous that piece is. And I love books that do that. There's another great one right there. So this is another great, just a fundamental. If you're beginning, or like I said, if you're advanced, it's always good to have these reference books in case you just need a refresher on something, you have a question. The internet has answers, but I love books. I can't ever go away from books. Okay, next up. Oh my gosh, I can barely fit this huge brick in the frame. But this is, I think, the book that everybody needs. We call this the Jeweler's Bible. This is the Jewelry Concepts and Technology by Opie Untracht. I always butcher his name. But this is, I got this used. And this is from, I think, copyright from the 80s. Let's see, copyright, 82, 85. But this is a super in-depth, pretty much what the Tim McCreight one was. This is the one that goes into, I mean, so much depth, and it's a great wealth of knowledge. I mean, everything you need to know about metalsmithing is in here. It is a great reference. I still find stuff in here that I'm like, I forget about, that I read about. Just any technique you could think of is in here. It is a great reference. I say every metalsmith needs this. It even goes over like this section here, these hammer shapes. This is good for like shell forming. See these curved shapes? So those are really great references for silversmiths, for anyone that likes to do forming, kind of the types of hammers. So I love this book. So you definitely need this big guy. It's heavy, it's thick, but definitely need it. All right, this one is for our silversmith. So this book, when I got it, it was out of print. And it might still be out of print. You might be able to find on eBay or Thrift Books. Go to Thrift Books. Oh my God, Thrift Books is the bee's knees. I go there for everything. And so this is a great reference book for silversmithing specifically. There's a lot of things in here that you can also apply to other metals, but silversmithing specifically, it goes into these instructional videos about traditional silversmithing, where silversmithing was making functional items like teapots, cutlery sets, because silver was not really used as jewelry, because that was seen as like a pauper's metal. People wore gold for jewelry. So silver wasn't really used for jewelry until, I would say, the Industrial Revolution. You can fact check me on that, but this is traditional silversmithing, and it's a great reference for that. If you want to go into, it goes into instructional, how to forge a spoon, the kind of stakes that you need. If you want to make functional items, curving flatware for general use. This is a cool one. How to curve metal. So you can, this is for flatware, sure, fine, but you can apply it to other metals. And so that'll be, it goes into raising. I love raising. It's super fun. It's good therapy. You just hammer away at something and you form it into something beautiful. And see, it shows the stages. And let's see, when was this copyright? Let's see. 1983. So so look for this one. If you can't find it, it might be out of print. And sometimes out of print ones are pretty expensive. So just kind of wait around. I got this one for, let's see, $50, because I had someone that gave me one, and I lost that, and then so I went to replace this one, and so I went around online and waited around for a little bit, and so I got this one for $50, but I have seen them for like $200. Don't pay that for this one. Wait around till you see one for like $50. You can find one. It's out there. If you really, really, really want this, that's why I'm showing you the inside, so you can really decide, it's a great wealth of knowledge for silversmithing, but it's more for functional wear. So if you're expecting jewelry in this, don't. You won't find jewelry. It's all it's functional wear. Bowls, teapots, cutlery, stuff like that. But you can still apply these same ideas to your silversmithing. And that's actually what this next metalsmith did in the next book that I'm going to show you. Okay, so this is Form Emphasis for Metalsmiths by Heikki Seppä. So Heikki Seppä was a silversmith. So the silversmithing book I just showed you, he was trained in that and how to form those vessels. And so he essentially took that technique, or those techniques to form them, and made creative work with it. So you can see here, this curve is very similar to, say, curving the spout of a teapot, but he did it in a creative way. And so he made this book in a whole new way of forming metal. And he did this in the 70s. And let's see, when was this? 1978. Yeah. And I also love this. I'll read it out to you. Young ideas are the most fragile of all things. If there is no room for roots, if there is no acceptance, they will die. This book is dedicated to those who recognize an idea in spite of the embryonic presentation of it. Because this is a whole new technique. I think maybe people were skeptical about it. I'm not sure, but it has really taken a life of its own because people love this technique. I use this technique in my work. So it goes over shell forming. So if you're interested in shell forming, this is the origins of shell forming. You need to get this book if you want to begin shell forming. This is a must-have. So I love this book. So he goes into, the functional shell forming here. You see there, and then the handle and spout. So it's very similar to the silversmithing book I just showed you. But then you move over here, and then he starts moving to the creative stuff. And it's super fun. I mean, look at that. Look at the curves. I mean, it just flows. It's so beautiful. And so it goes over how to make a cone. So he really went beyond the functional wear of silversmithing and really made a whole different art form. And so you can see here, these are spiculums or tubing, and how did they curve. And these forms, those are fun to make. Yep, and then the crimping and the kind of stakes that you need for it. So this book is great. You really need to have this one. And this next one I'm going to show you is by his student, Betty Helen Longy, and then her contemporary Cynthia Ide. So Betty Helen Longy just passed away, sadly, and I did get the chance to meet her a few times. I work at Piedmont Craftsman, and she was a member there from, let's see, I think 1972 she was a member. And she was just a great, great woman, and I was really lucky to have met her and also learn the technique that she and Hecky taught. And so that's why I have both of these books. So this is another great book for shell forming. So she really built on what Hecky started, she and Cynthia both. I haven't met Cynthia, though, but I love her work. Her work is stunning. She makes gorgeous Argentium pieces. So this is a great instructional. I mean, they really did a great job on this book of showing each step of shell forming, great pictures. I mean, step by step. Oh, there's Betty. That's Betty. In her purple. That's my favorite color too. But yeah, that's a color that she wore a lot. She always wore glitter too. Glitter makeup, but just, yeah, really great instructional pictures. And I've actually been wanting to go through, because I've done a lot of samples and examples. Oh yeah, here's some samples of her work here, and then Cynthia up here, and then a couple other metalsmiths. Yeah, Steve Shelby, he's another great one up there. He works a lot in brass. Oh my God. Yeah, this is brass. Brass is so hard to form. Good on him, because I've tried to form brass before, and it is difficult. So, whew, yeah, I love his work. But it's great examples of, yeah, and how to sink here. Yeah, so I've actually been wanting to go through each of these projects step by step, and just have all these samples, because I have some. I've taken workshops over the years and dabbled and made my own work, but I think really going step by step will expand my work, so I might start that next year and do a video series about that. But it's just, if you love forming, fabricating, this is a great reference book for that. And it goes over the hammers and the kind of tools that you need, little like tips and tricks. So this is a great, great reference book. It's one of my favorite ones that I use all the time. So if you're into forming, these two are must-have. So Form Emphasis for Metalsmiths, Hecky Seppa, and then Creative Metal Forming by Betty Helen Longy and Cynthia Ide. Okay, so this last book is more of one that I love to reference because I absolutely love Art Nouveau. That is my favorite art movement. It is just, I love the flowing lines. So I got this book so that way I can, it's plates. It's actual plates of Art Nouveau jewelry, and I love this as a reference to just get some ideas about the curving lines and how it flows, because I just love how they incorporate nature, and it's that form and function idea. And so I'll use this as a reference book a lot, just for inspiration when I'm kind of stuck on designs. And oh gosh, yeah, look at that hair fork. Look at that. That is beautiful. I've been really wanting to make something like that. That's like one of my favorite designs. And it goes and it tells you each one, like what each item is. So you can like, oh, okay, that's that, that's that. So it's like a belt. Of course, some of them are very easy to tell, but I love Art Nouveau. So this is a great one. I actually found this on Thrift Books, and there's all sorts of books like this. It's 305 authentic Art Nouveau jewelry designs. I think there's Art Deco. There's ones that are like Edwardian, but I got this one, and so I get a lot from Thrift Books. So you get points, and so you can get free books under $5. And I mean, this one only costs like, I think $4. So I got this one for free, which was great. Free books are always good. But yeah, these are, yep. So this one, I use a whole bunch.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Meet the Maker Mondays. I am Sarah Harvell, the metalsmith and maker behind Ravenna Metalworks. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. And if you're on social, like, follow, and share.